Evening and welcome back to another episode of Cam and Focus Weekly. I am Cam, and with me, as always, Mr. Andrew. How are you this evening?
I'm good, all things considered, but unfortunately, we watched this movie, so
We did, we did, and I feel like we are much worse off for it.
yeah.
Um,
But how are you doing?
so, oh, I'm doing good. I'm just enjoying what's left of my weekend before it's back to the grind tomorrow. How was your weekend? Do anything fun?
Yeah, we on Friday, my family and I we go to this barn dance that's in our area. It's
Okay,
it's it's once a month, and then yesterday being Valentine's, we as a family we just had like a Valentine's dinner.
sure.
So yeah, pretty good weekend. So yeah.
All right. Well, so you had brought something up before we got started, something about
Yeah, let me
Letterbox. Would you mind sharing
yeah.
that with us again?
Yeah. So one thing that I love to do on Letterbox is create lists. You can do like rankings. It could be whatever. So like I'll do movies I watched in a specific order, or in this case, ranked based on my enjoyment of how much I liked the movie that we discussed. Sometimes you can't do this, but sometimes I like say that movies are like tied. And we talked about a lot of good movies, more good movies than bad. So sometimes it's hard to like put a movie somewhere. But down at the bottom, our bottom five, we've got Emu War, Gods of Egypt, Thanksgiving, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, and Attack Force. Now, I actually think this movie is going to go in between Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, and Attack Force. But I think I'm going to put Thanksgiving actually over Gods of Egypt now that I think about it, because that movie, as much of a chore as it was a little bit more entertaining than Gods of Egypt.
Yeah.
Um, but anyway, I didn't start doing this from the beginning. I started this a couple months ago. But it's just fun to rank the movies, and some of it is personal bias. Like I have Ash above Blues Brothers. Some people may look at that and think that's crazy, but like we said in our review, Blues Brothers was kind of a nothing movie. It was good, but not a lot happened.
Right.
Uh, so anyway,
Well,
that's the list. So
well, hello, Andrew. Oh, no, Michael, there you are.
ah,
Okay, but my screen is fairly small, so I looked at you, and honestly, all I saw it looked like just an empty shirt and a hat sitting there. I was like, oh, I was like, did the movie just literally suck the life out of him, and he's just nothing more than his clothes? Like, did Cell come by and just glop glop glop?
I mean, honestly, you're not far off.
Yeah. Okay. So yes, the gang is all here.
Dude,
Oh
when you
man, I
canceled last week, I was rage I felt. I'm like, thing.
oh,
oh
and he's
wow,
gone.
he raged left.
This movie's so bad it made him rage quit from the
Well,
stream.
uh,
Oh, not quite,
Yes.
but
I'll tell you how I felt, Michael. So I wanted to watch the Super Bowl last week just because I'm a football guy, and I was trying to figure out how I could watch it and do the show at the same time because I have to. It was on NBC, so I have to watch it with an antenna. And I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. And then Cam was like, we can't do the show, and I'm like, yes. And then the Super Bowl was one of the most boring football games I've ever seen in my life. And I was like, I don't know what was more boring, this or the Super Bowl.
you know what?
Yeah.
That's what you get for suggesting this fucking movie.
Actually,
That
Cam and I
was me.
co.
That was
Cam and I
that
co
was my
Oh
fault.
suggested it.
well, you know
Si-
what? Dishonor on you, dishonor on your family, dishonor on your cow.
So
Yeah.
it was I looked it up on Tubi. Cam looked up the genre. He was like, look up sword and sorcery. So I looked that up, and that was like one of the first movies that popped up. And I was like, what about this? We are like, sure, it'll probably be like Kroll. And Kroll is a masterpiece compared to this movie.
Dude, I will watch Kroll 10 times in a row before I even think about watching the freaking intro to this movie.
Before I even
will
open it
say
up on
there was
Tubi, to be honest.
There was one thing in this entire movie that I went, "Oh, that was a nice attention to detail." It was at the
Cat?
very beginning. It was the very beginning when Ator the First or whatever the fuck
I
is
know, that was
having
so
he's like
confusing.
fighting the prisoners in like the like right of conquest or whatever, like if you beat me you get to live. And the way that he was fighting with that big ass sword, like using both hands, I was like, okay, that's almost accurate. Like that's almost
Yeah.
like accurate to how you would have actually fought with one of those swords. And then the
Right.
entire movie just it didn't go downhill from there. It jumped off a fucking cliff.
Well,
Yeah,
to be fair, I told Cam Michael before the show I did have two positives for the movie. I thought some of the costumes looked good. Given I couldn't find a budget for this movie, IMDb didn't have it listed, and I couldn't trust. I couldn't find a source
It was
I trust.
non-existent.
Right. And then I liked some of the location shoots, some of the sets I thought looked kind of neat given the times. And this was a low budget Italian movie. Now, I'm not saying it blew me away and I was like, whoa.
Right.
Those are the very little positives I found in the movie. Outside of that,
Yeah.
it was the most boring movie I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, to say that this movie goes downhill is like saying that the Titanic sinking is you getting wet. I mean, this was the most
I too would like-
abysmal. I can't
I too
can't
would
wrap
liken
my
this
head
movie
around
to a
just how
tragedy
bad this
equivalent
movie
to the
was.
Titanic.
Yeah.
I too would liken this movie to a tragedy equivalent to the sinking of Titanic.
I like watching this was almost like a religious experience. I like my eyes had been opened up. I was like, oh my God, I get it now.
Yeah.
There are movies worse than the worst that I've seen.
How many times was it obvious that it looked like an actor was just reading off of the script directly, especially the
Oh my
goblin.
God,
Their eyes are
yes.
their eyes
Yes.
are kind of doing this.
Like the little goblin that was with the wart dude, the evil villain of the movie, Hagen or whatever his name was.
Yeah.
It literally sounded
Yeah.
like the voiceover that he was doing was he was reading from the script. Like he was like, "Don't do that. I'm
It
gonna
was like
go
he was
here."
reading an essay.
Yes.
Oh
There
my
was
God.
literally a point. There was literally a point in the movie. I don't remember who it was. I mean, it was.
Who cares?
I don't remember who. Yeah, I don't remember who said it, but there's literally a point in the movie where somebody has their back turned to the camera, talking to somebody, and you can see them like looking down like this, and they say
Yeah.
something. They're like, and we can't do that or what? Like it's like
yeah,
they
I
were,
caught
like,
that. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It's like they're like actively reading a script, like
Yeah.
a hidden script somewhere, and I'm just like,
And
oh
how-
my God.
I don't know if they did voiceover, but a lot of it sounded like they filmed it in like a hallway or something. It was so echoey, like when they were
Yeah.
outside, or like the
I
witch
guarantee
lady.
like 80% of the dialogue was ADR. I guarantee it.
I know, I believe it because there's a scene where when Ator, the son, is going to go off on his journey and the witch is walking with him, they're walking and their mouths are not moving with the words that are being said. And then they have like the same one shot of her as a bird, and it's just this echo of like, follow the path to the east. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what path to the east? Like a yellow brick road? Like what?
Well, and
Did you notice
was-
that? Okay, this was an itch in the back of my head that I couldn't place at first, but I was like, "There's no way. There is no way they got the same actor to play the father and the son."
Yeah.
But
Yes.
they did, and there is no like a blind man could not be convinced that that actor is playing a character on his
He's not even
18th
18.
birthday.
Not even 18. Yeah. Well, I thought it was still Ator, the father, because I was like, I know
was
him
like,
as-
wait, he survived.
yeah. I was like, didn't he just die? And why are we seeing his
Well-
butt? But anyway, and then I was because I know him as the dad from Good Luck Charlie. So if I refer to him as that instead of Ator, what kind of name is that? And then they were like, "You are about to be 18," and let's talk about the mom real quick. She has to die because of the law in her heart, and she's like, "Here, take my son. You watch him, Goblin." And then she gets the goblin makes her horny. Like, why? That doesn't make
Yeah.
any sense. I don't get
The
it.
goblin makes her horny, and then she sleeps with him, and then because of that,
Yeah.
the gods punish her for being a slut, basically, and she's forced to become a prostitute, and then, like, did anybody else think that the entire because the first part of the movie it was very hard to tell who was who, and like putting
Oh, yeah.
names to characters was impossible. And
Oh,
so
yeah.
like there
I
was a
couldn't hear
whole
half the lines.
there was a
even with
whole
subtitles.
section like literally from the time we first see Ator before his 18th
Yeah.
birthday until he rescues the goddess or whatever. I thought he was trying to rescue his mother.
Yeah.
And they kept talking about like the great love of his life, and I'm like, what kind of incestuous bullshit is this? And then like
yeah.
they find his mother on accident.
Right.
Yeah.
I know.
He does not know it's his mother, and he's like, I can't sleep with you. And he's like,
yeah.
Yeah,
And
they go
she's
into
like,
the
"I've been
most
cursed by the
obvious
gods."
ripoff of the Star Wars cantina I've ever seen.
Oh, I know.
You have these two like lizard guys walking
Not
around
even playing
playing
the
playing
violin.
violins, and the one
Not even-
behind the other one, the string's not even on the violin. He's just kind of doing this with it.
Yeah. I saw that.
yeah, I was
not
half
even
expecting
touching.
to hear like, I was half expecting to hear like,
Yeah.
They
I
wanted to. I know they wanted to so badly.
I gotta say the funniest part of the movie. So the opening scene, you see the Dawana lady, whatever her name was, running. Right, she's running.
right.
You know, this whole fight scene, and Thorn shows up, and then she shows up, and she's like, she ran, and she's like, "You can't do this," or whatever. And I had to pause, and I was like, "There's no way they had her like show up now." Like she was just running the whole time. Like
Yeah, exactly.
it
You
was
got
so
there at just
stupid.
the right time.
Not out of breath either.
And I love how, this movie centers, I mean, because this movie has no freaking plot. I love how the first part of the movie is dedicated to him finding the great love of his life, rescuing this
Yeah.
goddess. They've never even met.
No.
They don't know each other. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, sure, she knew his father, but what does
And
that
there's
have to
a
do with
huge
her being
difference
his
between
love of the life? What?
I as much as I hate to say this, the movie almost makes me want to go back and watch the first 3 movies before it.
You can't even
Just
watch
so
the
I can
second
see if
one.
there's
You
It's not
do
some,
that.
available.
You do that, and you tell us
Yeah.
all about it.
just to see if there's some like context.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
context in this
fun-
movie. That's
you know
funny.
Let's
Fun
know about-
fact.
Oh, no.
I don't know. I started looking up like the different actors and actresses. I'm like, these guys have such very little acting charisma. Like, I'm pretty sure at least 3 of these people do porn. At least 3 of the people did porn.
Are you kidding me?
No, the goddess, the love of his life, she was in some porn movies in like the 80s.
Wow. Gotta clear that search history, bro.
Let's see.
I think if I remember right,
This
I
might be-
believe the woman who plays the witch that like turns into the crow or whatever, I think
yeah.
she's also done some.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And I thought there was another one, but I remember the mother specifically was not one of them. So like at least there was that.
I saw the Goblin in a few movies.
You know what that Goblin
I'm
mask
pretty
was
sure
from
he
Troll
was in-
2.
Yes, same Goblin mask from Troll 2. Same Goblin mask used on 2 characters in this movie.
Right. And I love that you can see
At
the
least
eyes of
2
like
characters.
the characters. But I was gonna say
Also,
what was funny because
Uh-huh.
you brought this up, Cam, in our chat. The title is called Quest for the Mighty Sword.
Yeah,
He
The
has
mighty
2
sword was in his house.
The Mighty Sword. Okay, I want to talk about how stupid that whole scene was with him with the Goblin, based on 2 things. One, he gets fooled twice with a fake sword. Okay, then he gets blinded. And the Goblin's like, "You'll get your eyesight back when I get back." He gets his eyesight back in 2 seconds, and then the shield fell down, is shining on a rock. He's like, "Well, it must be there." Moves the rock. It's there. We're getting a little from Michael there, and then
sorry.
then he cutting the Goblin in half actually looked cool. But now he has the sword. There's no quest for the Mighty Sword. It should be called Quest with the Mighty Sword.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so and he finds this sword within the first half hour of the movie.
Right. It's
So
like 15 minutes in.
And it's in
And
his
also-
house. How can you call a
Also,
movie Quest
the
for the
whole-
Mighty Sword when the Mighty Sword was in your house? That's something.
There's
That's
no
like.
quest.
Oof.
I'd be like me getting up right now to go to the bathroom and be
the
like,
whole-
"There's my phone." You know.
the whole point of the woman leaving Ator with the Goblin was because the Goblin was supposedly the only one who could fix the sword. Ator
And he
finds it in
didn't.
5 minutes,
Yeah.
and he
And
just
he didn't even
bangs
like
together,
flip it
and it's
over
like,
to
oh,
do the
it's
other side.
perfectly-
You know, he didn't even
Yeah.
flip it over to hit on the other side. He just hits it a couple times on the one side and was like,
Also, I love the implication that the goblin knew, like the goblin fooled him twice and
yeah.
assumed that the third sword was also fake, which implies that he had more fake swords made.
Yeah.
And he just
Yeah.
assumed that Ator found another fake sword.
And I love whenever he starts to forge this. Okay, I know,
Yeah.
I know a lot about metalwork, and this was the
Yeah.
stupidest forging scene I've ever seen. He
Yeah.
has the sword in the coals,
Yeah.
and when it supposedly gets hot enough to forge the two pieces together, he picks the pieces up with his bare hands.
Yeah.
You idiot!
That OP.
It's metal. When
Yeah.
one part of metal gets hot, all of it gets hot. You don't pick up. Oh.
But that's this movie. Like, there's no, like, I would love to have known the thought process behind the script. Like, when they were writing it, like,
They wrote it as they went.
right. Part of me wonders how much was improvised too. Like, did they? Was that supposed to be a real cat, by the way? Because I don't care about jumping around in the movie. Because the guy pets it. It literally holds on a shot of him petting it. Was that supposed to be a real cat, and they just couldn't find one?
I don't know.
Are you talking about the statue? The little
Yeah, because he was petting it.
He's talking about he's like insane. He's talking about his artwork will never leave him. His artwork will
Right. That's how I
always
talk
love
about my
him, like-
movies, by the way. On my shelf. Like,
But like
and I didn't
I thought it was
hurts my head.
I thought it was interesting, or not interesting. I thought it was fucking weird when he is confronted with his mother. He's like, "Well, what will break the curse?" And she says, "When somebody looks at me as a mother and not a woman," or something like that. And then he's like, "Mother," and he hugs her, and then they pull away, and she's immediately
dead.
like 98 years old and dead.
She would not have been that old with the 18-year age gap.
Exactly. My point
And
is like she would have been 50 at most.
Right.
And okay, so and when he calls her mother, is he calling her that because he's fulfilling her request to be seen as a mother, or is he calling her that because he knows that she's her mother? Because there is no evidence whatsoever that implies at all that he knows that she is his mother.
It's implied that he knows it's his mother because later he and the other woman, like his love interest, have that conversation where he's like, "You knew it was her," and she's like,
I don't
"Yeah,
want
but
to
I
theorize
couldn't."
too much on this movie. I don't want to use the brain power. So
Ugh.
because even
Well,
like I want to say something came before I forget. You had posted on Facebook the other day about movie tropes that annoy you.
yeah.
And this one reminded me of one late in the movie when they have the girl tied up and Hagen's like, "I'm gonna turn you into a statue," and he knows that Ator's there fighting between his guards. He could easily just go like this on the thing and she'd be a statue. Instead, he's like, "Turn, wait a few seconds, turn," even when Ator's right there next to him, hitting
He's
the
like,
guards.
"I'm gonna do this."
He's like, I'm gonna do it. And he's like, just that annoys me. And I'm like, just do it. Like, please, like,
There are some shots too that I really feel like they should have cut way sooner. Like whenever he and the goddess are out in that field and they get accosted by the little gremlin people. I don't know what they are, and that you have that fight scene out there. As they're running away, the shot lingers for so long that the extras who are playing the little gremlin people just stop running.
Yeah.
For like a second and a half, it's just the shot lingers on them just standing there.
Yeah. Well, and I got hey, that's like the movie.
No.
I gotta say, so the scene, Kevin, we had seen this clip prior to watching the movie when Ator gets to Hagen's castle and the two guards are doing like time cop, and he just pulls out the arrow, like the thing. Where's that been the whole movie? Why is he just not using it now? Like,
who knows? Who knows?
Also, it took me a minute, like the guy who like becomes their companion or whatever. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? Like,
Yeah,
he just
he was
kind of
just
popped up, and
he
then I
was a
realized,
nice guy.
well, and then
at the
I
pink-
realized he was like the blackjack dealer
Right.
or the dice dealer,
Yeah,
whatever, at
yeah.
the bar.
But you don't
I was like,
realize that until he says it because you never get a clear shot of his face whenever he's introduced in the story.
But the
So
funny thing is,
right.
they know each other for like 5 minutes, but they have like this trust and this bond with each other, and like, oh, he won't betray me. I'm like, dude, he
I mean,
randomly was following
it
you.
makes the exact same amount of logic as I've never met this goddess before in my life, but she
Right.
is my soulmate.
yeah.
And I love how many shots, like Kim, you mentioned with the shots. There was one when the goblin had left Ator and he's just walking, and the shot just lingers with him walking the entire time. And I'm like, why? He's not going anywhere. He's not doing anything.
It
was like,
gotta make
oh.
that feature length runtime somehow.
Right, they had to hit that hour and a half. But even like the later when there was the girl that has like the gotcha moment because she just has to have Ator after seeing him for 2 seconds at the cantina.
Yeah.
Even when she runs off, it like lingers on her running off into like the woods. And I'm like, why? There's no emotional attachment there.
No, not even a little
and-
bit. Oh,
Well, and then there's like the scenes where like the goblin dude is talking to Ator like near the beginning before he tries to kill him, and he's like giving him some exposition or something, and the music
Yeah.
is
It's
so
so
loud.
loud.
you can't hear a damn thing, and that's half the
Yes.
movie.
And I'm glad I
Yes.
even with subtitles. Like there were some times where the subtitles didn't even work.
It just said like ineligible or something like that.
Yeah, it did. It really
Dude,
did.
I got 35 minutes away from the ending of the movie, and then I looked at Tubi settings, and I was like, "Oh my god, there's a speed up function. Let's go!"
That must only be on the TV. I didn't have that on my laptop. I don't know
Oh
why.
man.
But I will say one thing: I don't have ads on Tubi, which was nice, so I could just watch the whole
What do
thing
you,
without ad
what do you
break.
pay for Tubi Premium or something?
I just have I just have an ad blocker on my laptop that
okay.
blocks the ad.
See,
I
for me, it was like every 25, 30 minutes, I'd get an ad break, and I'm like, oh, thank God.
Well, one thing I thought was funny is there's this overall plot, if you want to call it that, but it's really just Ator goes here, he fights off some bad guys, he goes here, finds his mom, goes here, finds the love of his life, fights some more guys, goes here.
Yeah.
Like there's not even like really a quest.
Well, like what with them, with the whole
Specifically
quest
not
line
for
of
the
him
Mighty
having
Sword.
to give the treasure to the gods of the West or something like that. What the fuck did that have to do with anything?
Right.
and second of all, how did he get there? We don't freaking know. Oh, and then he just hops and skips from there over to the place where the goddess is being held. How did he get there? How much time passed?
Right.
Whatever. And I laughed my ass off when he encountered that that robot that had the two heads. And
This is a fantasy movie. It has sci-fi stuff in it.
Yeah, he's backing away from it, and he backs up into a hallway that's too narrow for the robot to go through. So it's just like walking up against
It's
this
like video game
impassable
characters when you
wall.
hit the wall.
And then somehow he loops around behind it and cuts it in half with his sword.
You know what's funny? He hesitated there, and I realized I said sci-fi kind of funny, but he like looks, sees there's an exit, looks back at them, and then goes, and then just cuts them in half or whatever. But I'm like, why are there this is a fantasy movie. Why are there robots? This is like ancient times. Like, I don't get.
Yeah.
I legit dozed off for a few minutes during the movie. That must have been during that time because I don't remember there being.
Oh, you didn't see that? It's hilarious.
Dude, I will tell you, Michael, I started this movie. It took me like 3 hours. I had to pause because I was tired. And then I needed to make dinner. And I was like, okay, my dinner's going to take 20 minutes. I have 15 minutes left in this movie. By the time my dinner's done, I have to be done with this or I'm going to go crazy. Like, I have to finish this. Like, I just can't keep watching this. Like,
I literally told you, I was like, listen, go into the settings and hit the speed up time function. You will thank me later.
Because I told Cam, this is one of those movies. It had to have been a TV movie, by the way. This felt totally like a TV movie.
There's
Oh,
no
even-
way
even
this had a
worse than
theatrical
that,
release.
it's-
Oh yeah, but like it's one of those movies where like the
Straight
credits
to
is like
VHS. That's what
right.
this was.
The credits are like 30 seconds because 5 people worked on this movie, both cast and crew. Because one guy played all the goblins, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
And
I mean, they
so I
got
was
one
like,
guy to play a father and son. You
Right,
really
I
think they
know.
could afford more?
right. Well, they went cheap there, so they could get. Also, it was like the goblins. Their outfits, everyone was wearing like these tight underwear pant things because even Ator was. But there was a shot of the goblin that was with the 2 guards that were doing the time cop fighting, and he like turns around and leaves. Usually he's got like the spandex on for pants, like these hairy legs that are not part of the costume. And he like runs off and then like stops. And I'm like, why did they linger on that shot? Like, did they not edit this movie? And I gotta tell you, speed of which, I don't think they edited this movie. I don't think
I want to see who directed this film and
I'm
see
on
if
it.
they're like I'm almost convinced that they had to have been like a porn director before because
I think
the
it's the
amount
director
of like
of Troll 2, but I could be wrong. Let me see.
Oh, Troll 2. I thought you said Kroll 2. I was like,
No.
what?
Joe Tomato, D'Amato. Let's see.
tomato.
Yeah, but I was gonna say there were several scenes where it felt like they only did one take because the love lady,
Absolutely.
the Johnny whatever, she like stutters on a line like halfway through, and I think she was like talking to Hagen. She was like, I'm not gonna do this." But like the way it was is it was clear like she forgot her line for a second, and it wasn't like a stutter. I was like, you guys can like retake that 10-second line. Like you just the battery's almost dead in the camera. We're almost out of film.
They're running out of film, man.
This dude directed 200 projects.
What?
Jesus.
A lot of them are just like videos, which might be
Well,
let's see. The last
little
movie because he died in 1999. All of them on IMDb. I'm gonna pull this up just because this is funny. Let me hit share. They don't even have pictures like on IMDb. Like, look, these are like you have to scroll all right. There's Top Girl, which he directed, which is definitely The Hyena, which has a girl on there.
Kama
This has another
Sutra.
girl. The Virgin Express.
It's called Kama Sutra.
Look,
I fucking called it. Damn it.
look at this. This is definitely
Oh my god.
this
Get
dude.
up.
What the heck? Oops. All right, I don't want the feds to get me.
Oh,
But-
that's incredible.
I gotta go find my thing that keeps the iPad in place, damn it.
But they were just like I was watching this movie and like they're like okay, I'll throw this out there because we mentioned it. Like Troll 2 is one of those so bad it's actually good. Like it's an enjoyable bad.
Yeah.
Because it's not even technically Troll 2. It was supposed to be called Hobgoblins, and they were trying to just benefit on the movie Troll. But this was just like there was no investment in the characters. There was no like build up. Even when the Ator the first dies, what I thought was funny is like when the fight scene was starting and it wasn't even like they were hitting yet, the mom was blocking the Ator's eyes. And then she like lets off of them, and that's when the killing happens. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what are you like?
Yeah, there's some good parenting.
Yeah. But it and the exposition, we got a lot of unnecessary exposition that also went nowhere, which is already annoying.
Everything. And okay, dialogue. The dialogue in
Green
this
wrote
movie
this movie.
was so. I mean,
Chug, 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 chug.
yeah.
No, it was like Neil Breen. They were throwing out big words that meant nothing. Like you said, you must go to Igor and Igor 2 and give them the swords in the east. Follow the yellow brick road. It's like, okay, what does that mean? Like
Nothing. This
Exactly.
nothing means anything in this movie. And why? Okay, well, like for example, why in the hell is this goddess the true love of this guy? Why does that matter? What does that have to do with anything with this movie? Nothing.
No, I want to
Nothing.
find the critics on Rotten Tomatoes that gave this a 7% because how could you sit through this and find any level of enjoyment? And I'm not even trying to be rude. Based on over 100 ratings, this has on Rotten Tomatoes, and it has a 7%.
So
Why?
that means 7 people ranked it higher than a 0.
And the funny thing too, I can't find anything on this movie like factually or trivia except IMDb just has 2, and all it is that it reuses one of the Goblin Mask props from Troll
Yeah.
2, and it's the final entry in the Ator franchise. That's it. I even on a website like and like Wikipedia, I briefly looked there. Same thing. It says the same thing.
To be fair, those are the most interesting things about the movies.
Right? I know.
I want to know, did the guy who made the first 3 movies really think, well, these first 3 movies did real well. I think we ought to do a 4th. Like,
I'm gonna look up and see if it was the same director or not.
I don't think it was the same director because they got a different actor for Ator.
So Joe D'Amato, or however you say his name, directed 3 out of the 4 movies.
Oh, damn.
The only
Okay, I
movie
was
he
wrong.
didn't direct was the 3rd one, Iron Warrior. That was directed by Alfonso Brescia.
but see if
And-
he was a producer for that movie, because
And that one-
it might have been like a
sorry.
George Lucas situation.
Let me see. That one actually has the highest score out of all 4 movies on IMDb with a 3.6.
Wow, taking
That
a
is-
commanding lead.
I know.
Yeah.
I know compared to 2.8. Let me see if he produced. Let's see. I also love that, like, but it is a different actor that plays Ator.
Yeah.
They couldn't keep paying the same person to come back. They had to keep getting nobodies.
Wow, this has a huge crew. What the heck? I'm not seeing him listed under producers. So,
Okay.
but I just like I always respect someone going out and making a movie, but like
Yeah.
and you can't even use the AI excuse because this was the 90s and the 80s. But it's like, and I know sometimes something can read better as a script and translate, but and maybe with budget, but there was I can't imagine there being no point we were watching this in the editing bay or writing it going, this makes no sense. Like there's no reason for the characters to be doing anything. There's no
No. And the sword. What did the sword have to do with anything?
right. He didn't even use the sword half the time. He was fighting.
This movie is called Quest for the Mighty Sword. And what's so freaking mighty about it? It's a big sword.
Yeah.
There were moments where I legit like half expected Ator to just be like, by the power of Silver Skull. Like, oh,
Yeah, what power did it
Oh,
have?
right.
They kept saying that the goblin could restore the power. What power?
Nothing.
Like,
wait,
he
wait,
just-
guys, maybe that's it. The goblin didn't restore the sword. Ator did, so that's why it didn't have any power.
Ah, shucks.
no deep dives into this movie. No deep dives.
Maybe
No new
the
rock
mighty
stars in
sword
Liverpool.
was the friends we made along the way.
But isn't that corrupt?
You know, I'd wear a shirt that said that.
You had this movie, Quest for the Mighty Sword. There's nothing mighty about this sword that you did not quest for. Isn't that betraying the public's trust?
Neil, I'm gonna say it. I think Neil Breen's movies are better than this because
I would love to live in a universe where Neil Breen directed and starred in this movie.
oh no, I would love a universe where Neil Breen wrote and writes and directs a movie that Steven Seagal stars in.
As a matter of fact, I want Neil Breen just to do a sword and sorcery movie. That could have been
Yeah.
that could have been the movie we did today. But no, we
No.
did Quest for the Mighty Sword.
And
God damn it!
I will say this. I did go into the movie with a sliver of optimism because I thought, you know what?
Dingus!
I like hey dingus.
What's up?
I like 90s fantasy and I love sword and sorcery like you too, Cam.
Yeah,
But this just was not it. This was
It-
it failed in every aspect.
it wanted to be Conan the Barbarian so bad.
It
Oh, yeah.
really did.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, Michael adores
he
this
has been
movie.
glazing this movie like a donut.
Oh yeah,
100%, bro.
Yeah. But I actually
Fun fact, did you guys know that Neil Breen is releasing his 7th feature film this year?
I saw that. Yeah, his return, and I heard he might be in Doomsday. I'm not sure yet, but
Yeah, Kane will return in Doomsday.
he goes to he goes up to Doomsday. Isn't that betraying the public's trust?
Doctor Doom comes in. I am going to take over the world and wipe out the Avengers and conquer the multiverse. And Neil Breen's just
Isn't
in the
that
back, like,
corrupt?
isn't that corrupt?
You know what? His movie, the one where it's like there's the board of people that are supposed to be really smart and they're just repeating
Oh,
science
that's
phrases. That's Cade
Fateful
the
Findings, I think.
No,
No,
that's
no,
it's one of his newer ones.
that's
Cade. Cade
Double
the
Down. No,
No,
that's
no, no.
not
Cade
Double
the
Down.
Double Down's his first one. This one was one of his newer ones. It was like Cade the Tortured Crossing or something.
Oh, okay.
Or it's the one before that. Cade is the sequel. Anyway, this is taking too many brain cells. But like this movie had some of that. Like with Hagen. Like we don't really understand his motivation to really killing Ator outside of the girl. But that's it. But it's like then he got the girl and he still wants to kill Ator, and it's like we're not told why or shown why. There's no like, oh, his father Ator did something to him, and so now he's going to take out Ator the second. Like that would have at least added something there. But
yeah. Well,
Telling you, you gotta watch
what's
the
he gonna
first
do? What's he
three.
gonna do with the statue? Like once she's a statue, what is he gonna do to that statue? I don't want to know, Michael.
No,
Like, what's the point?
Well, when the movie started and that god Thorn came in and killed Ator Senior and then turned into the Goblin. Is it trying to imply that the Goblin is this god, or was the Goblin impersonating this god?
He never shows up again, and the whole point is like Thorn.
Yes,
and all
exactly.
this. Like-
Ator dies because he owes like a debt or something to this god who let him live, or something. I don't know.
Kill him?
But this plot point is never relevant again.
Yeah,
Never.
it would at least make some sense if the movie was Ator trying to hunt him down. But that's never like it's
that
not
would
even
have
brought
been
up.
something.
I
That
would
would
have
have been a
liked that.
story.
Yes, this is just this girl. I shared eye contact with her for 5 seconds. I'm gonna marry her. Oh, this guy wants to turn into a statue. I don't like that. And it's like, and you know what's funny? This statue liquid witch stuff he has set up. We don't even see if it works because they go into the thing and then the movie ends with them leaving happily ever after. So it's like it was just water that was dirty. Like
and by the way, you know, with him talking about how this goddess is the love of his life and whatnot, literally the next scene, whenever they go and rescue his mother from the guy, he's like hugging on her and touching on her face and stuff like that, and it's like, okay, you realize the love of your life is right there, watching this, right?
Yeah.
What the hell is wrong with you?
He's a player.
Again, I think it's supposed to be implied that like he like intrinsically knew it was his mother or something. I don't know.
Gollum reminds me of the one from Harry Potter. Yeah. Unfortunately, we didn't get Warwick Davis for this one, so
no. You know, one thing I did think was funny though. I don't even remember the guy's name, Shalud or something. You know, shouldn't have been there was probably his name. But when the guard was shot, the other one's dead, and you think the other one's dead, but he still is able to stab him. I'm like, how? Like that went right into your neck. You should be dead. There should be no. I don't know. I don't know how it all works, but.
It doesn't work. So
No,
don't
it
try to figure
doesn't.
it out.
Yeah, but I will say, and I don't know if they rented this from like another movie or production set, but I did think like the castle sets actually looked decent given this probably had an extremely low budget given the time.
For what they had to work with,
I mean,
some of the sets looked okay.
I'll give them credit where credit is due, but doesn't make up for how boring this movie was.
Speaking of sets, okay, so whenever he rescues the goddess and whatever god is now angry and causing all this seismic activity around, I love, you know, as the set is falling down around them, I love all the volcano B-roll footage that they inserted in there.
I was going to bring that up. It was Neil Breen stock footage. What the heck?
It was so jarring. Because the camera on those shots is so shaky, you can't really
Yeah.
see what
I
it is. But I'm like, that's fucking stock footage.
I thought, one, I didn't know that existed back then, and two, I thought something happened to my laptop. Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But yes, I'm so happy you brought that up because when I saw that, I was like, "You are kidding me!" Like, and then I will say this: I know I said a lot of the movie was filmed on location. It was all probably filmed in the same field, just different parts. Outside of the sets, like that's my guess. Now that I think
It
about
was
it,
all filmed like the same national park or something.
yeah, they're like it's free to shoot here. We're just gonna do different angles, and I loved how the witch lady was supposed to be there for like wisdom, but she just said a whole lot of nothing. Like she never said stuff. Like, and when she's the crow,
Nothing.
it's literally the same shot repeated, and it's an echoey like go to the east.
I love how you watch it with subtitles and the crow. There's a subtitle for caw,
Yes.
caw.
Yes.
So okay, so I've decided that I do not want to watch the rest of the movies, but I was curious enough to look up
You
what the
just
overarching
decided that?
story. No.
That was more
But
interesting
I'm
than the
saying
movie, though.
I decided I was curious enough to like look up what the overarching like story was. The synopsis for these movies are fucking hysterical. Listen to this. Heroic Journey, Ator the Fighting Eagle, 1982. Ator, played by Miles O'Keefe, sets out to rescue his kidnapped adoptive sister/wife, Sonia, from the evil spider cult led by Dakar. He learns his heritage, is guided by a mentor, fights in a barbarian world, and uses a magical shield to defeat the cult. So that's the first one.
His sister,
Wow. Okay.
the Game of Thrones.
The Reluctant Protector, or The Blade Master, or Ator 2, 1983. Ator and his mute sidekick, Thong, travel to save his mentor and defend against an evil warlord named Zor. This entry is known for its strange blend of fantasy with 1980s technology, including hang gliders and a nuclear bomb explosion.
You know what's funny about that movie is it's literally you can't watch it anywhere. You can only watch it on Mystery Science like 3000.
Mystery
DVD.
Science Theater 3000?
Yeah, that's the only place you can watch it. Oh well, maybe Michael
there's-
has some Russian pirate site or something, but I wouldn't even
Then
pirate
there's-
that, Michael. It's not worth it.
Then there's The Warrior's Fate, or Iron Warrior, 1987. Though not directed by D'Amato and often considered a loose sequel, this installment follows a similar plot where Ator battles an evil sorceress named Phaedra to save a princess, with the Master of the Sword revealing a secret connection to Ator. That one's a little more like, okay, that might actually be decent. And then Generational
It does have the highest
Quest.
rating on IMDb, so
Generational Quest, or Quest for the Mighty Sword. Directed again by D'Amato, this final film features a new lead, Eric Allen Kramer, playing the son of Ator, who must recover a magical sword, fight dragons, and save a goddess. Where the fuck was the dragon?
the dragon was in the cave, but it was like a dude in a costume.
Oh my
Right
God.
after it's in the same. Michael, you dozed off during this part because when he fought the robots, he like turns around and there's the dinosaur, but it's like just like a blow up costume, and he like
It walks around the corner, and I'm like, "Oh my God, it's Godzilla!"
Godzilla. But
I
Warner Brothers,
legitimately thought that they actually commissioned a Godzilla
yeah,
costume for that.
it's like Austin Powers. Godzilla, except Warner Brothers is right there, so it's not Godzilla. Yeah.
Oh my God!
One of the key characteristics is it's noted as Italian Conan ripoff.
Yeah, no shit.
Campy cult classic, known for having a so bad it's good reputation, especially after being featured on Mystery Science Theater 3000. If you guys have you guys ever seen Mystery Science Theater 3000?
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Andrew, it's hilarious. You would
Mhm.
probably enjoy it. It's basically a guy with a bunch of like robot puppets, and they all watch these terrible B movies Like they're trapped they're trapped in space, and all they have to do is watch these terrible movies that get sent to them by, command or whatever, and like
Oh,
that's all
that's
they
cool.
do. So it's literally the whole thing is like you're watching the movie, but then like on the front, like on the bottom here, it looks like theater seats, and you can see like their silhouettes, and
Oh, that's
they're
funny.
commentating on the movie the entire time. It's
It's a
fucking
it's
it's
Yeah,
so
it's
good.
if you ever watched like Andrew, if you ever watched like the old fanboy flicks movies where it's him sitting on the couch with his buddy commentating on movies, it's kind of like that.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They actually revived Mystery Science Theater. They like did a new show of it or something recently.
I did want to add some context to a quote I said earlier because I don't want this to be used against me for this movie.
And you
When I
fucking
said some of
better
the
not,
costumes
Spencer.
look cool, when I said some of the costumes look cool, I mainly meant on some of the guards. They're like the guards had like the all body costumes that were
Yeah,
running, but it was
yeah.
actually like the wig. Those look cool. But like Ator's totally impractical. It's like all leather with like this big like wool coat thing he's wearing. It's like going into battle, and he's wearing like leather underwear, not even shorts. Like, yeah, let's go fight in tall grass in an outfit like this.
I'm telling you, every time I saw him with that sword, I expected him to be like, "I have the power." Like, he
I
looks
love
so
that.
much
Someone
like
even said,
He-Man.
"Oh, it was when they were in the cantina." They were like, "Yeah, you're impressive. It's easy to fight with that sword." And then he loves sticking it in the ground. And then
Yeah.
he just like does
Yeah.
like elbow fighting, like he did and like this. Like I'm just like, who was the choreography director? Because they didn't have one. They just did improvised it. So
And every time he's like running with the sword, he's either running with it in his hand, or you see him like he pretends to put it on his back, but then he's like running and holding on to it.
Yeah.
yeah, I know.
That's when they actually cut the
prop is
shot
gonna
off at
fall.
the right time.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
they were like, "Oh, he's like it's breaking. I gotta hold on to it." the whatever you had it in, I don't know what you call it, a holster,
my
whatever. I don't
scabbard.
really care.
Yeah.
The
I
non-existent
Sword
one.
nerd.
oh,
Yeah, right. But this is one of those torture movies. Like if you were trying to get information out of me, and I probably should say this, but you would force me to watch this with no pausing, and it's like Clockwork Orange. Like that would,
stop, please.
I totally
second of-
thought when his friend got killed that Ator was gonna go, "I cannot believe you got stabbed. I cannot believe you got stabbed. This guy was dead. I cannot believe you got stabbed."
There were moments in this movie where I was just like, I would rather be watching Thanksgiving again.
Hey,
yeah,
you
I
said
would
you
over
liked
this.
that movie, so
I did. No, I did. And I was like, I'm pretty sure that Cam and Andrew would probably rather rewatch Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
than to
I
watch
would, because
this.
there's at least some slight ridiculous humor that did not make it a complete chore to watch. That's the difference. Is
Gobble,
like this
gobble,
was a chore to
motherfucker.
watch. Yeah, like that. Yeah, as bad as it was, and even like Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, as bad as it was, there was a bit of a touch of humor that made it not a complete chore. It was still a
Right.
chore, but this was like there was no charm. I guess of this movie is the best way to put
not
it.
even
Yeah.
a little bit. That's a good
Yeah.
way to put it too. There's
Yeah.
nothing about this movie that made it stick out or connect with me as a viewer in any way whatsoever. And I mean, at the very least, with something like Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, there's a certain novelty in watching these Winnie the Pooh characters, being psychotic and killing people and whatnot.
Yeah.
That's kind of fun. Thanksgiving, you had this turkey that was very obviously not supposed to be taken seriously.
Yeah.
Right.
But then you have this, and it's like they took whatever this was so seriously. I mean, this could have been like a really fun satire of sword and sorcery type movies. But no, they went at it completely stone-faced, and they decided, you know what, we're gonna actually do. We're gonna see if we can make this into the next Conan the Barbarian.
Yeah.
And what I got was a turd sandwich.
Yeah, and that's what's tough for me when I'm watching, because I love fantasy and sci-fi. It's like probably my favorite two genres to watch when it comes to movies.
Yeah.
But they also, I'll admit, they have some of the most boring movies I've ever seen, because if you don't, like I said, you don't have any charm, any kind of whatever to it to make me interested in the characters. Like, and there was no depth either. Like, I don't even think watching the previous 2 or 3 movies would have helped, because one, it's a different actor, so you're going to feel that separation. But like, these are probably pretty standalone too. Like, these are probably pretty loose sequels. Like,
Google does say that there is almost no continuity. Like, they just completely
yeah. Which I'm so glad I didn't try to suffer through the others, because
me too.
Even if they're slightly better than this, the highest is 3.8 on IMDb. And in fact, I'm going to look up the Rotten Tomato score for it, because I'm curious.
I've said it once and I'll say it again and again until we actually do it. I think we should review Kung Fury from YouTube. I think that would be a fun movie to do. Like,
well,
if you guys have never seen...
We'll certainly get around to it. I think we have a slight docket we're getting through first, but it's on the list.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Iron Warrior. Let me look up what this has. I found it on IMDb mainly because I forgot what the title was, because I don't care about these movies. I was like, I don't remember what it's called. Let's see. Oh, it's got a 10% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah,
it's probably about 8% higher than it should be.
This movie was 7% higher than it should be. Yeah. I just like and just with how many movies we've all watched in our lives, I just don't know how anyone, and I'm not gonna like hate on you for it, but how can you find enjoyment in this movie? Like, I don't even understand what could make you go, yeah, I like this. Like, there was nothing. Even the 2 things I said were neat weren't enough for me to be like, yeah, this was good.
No,
I literally gave it a half star on Letterboxd.
And I'm curious. Andrew. I want you to go on IMDb for this movie and look up only the 10-star reviews. I am so curious to see what people say about this movie.
All right,
I'm sure a lot of them are going to be like ironic reviews, but I just want to know if there's anybody who actually genuinely enjoys this.
Let me see. I wanted to do that earlier, and I was like, oh wow! I just was looking. As far as the cast goes, I know it's off topic. There's only 8 people credited. So there's Ator, Dejarnia, Gunther, Sun, Skjold, Grimdil, Nephiel, and then Thorn. He got credited, and he's in the movie for 2 seconds. Anyway, let me get to the reviews here. Okay, there is a total of 23 user reviews total for the movie. I wouldn't even give this a time of day to write a review. Of course, there's no 10-star reviews.
Okay.
Well, let me look up the highest though. Let me look up
I was going to say, surely there's at least a couple of 6s or 7s in there. I didn't realize what I said until you did that. I hate that so much.
I know, it's kind of dead anyway. Okay, there's a lot of 3 out of 10s, a 1 out of 10, a 1 out of 10, a lot of 1 out of 10s. There's a 5 out of 10, which is the highest I'm seeing so far. Oh, here's an 8 out of 10.
What would the 8 out of 10 say?
So the title for this is the Ator series concludes. Quest for the Mighty Sword is the title used for the version of this movie that I watched. This is the 3rd and rarest film, you got that wrong, in the Ator trilogy. Written into, okay, this review is wrong on so many levels on who wrote this movie. You know what? This isn't even a review. It's just talking about the movie, like who worked on the movie. But here's a 7 out of 10.
It's got to be a bot account.
Yeah, let's see. This one. All right, this one is 7 out of 10 with the spoiler warning on it, but I don't really know what you could spoil in this movie, to be honest.
Nothing happens.
Yeah. If only all movies were this much fun. Cheap and Cheerful best describes this tale of swords and sorcery brought to us by the late, great Joe D'Amato, who also directed the first 2 Ator flicks. As with the previous entry, the continuity established in the first 2 films has been abandoned. completely, thus indicating that this is a sequel and name only, and thus the titular Ator is in fact, I can't speak, a different character completely here. In fact, there are two Ators in the movie. But frankly, you won't be paying much attention to the plot here anyway, when there are so many hilarious scenes on offer. Witness such side-splitting sights as a hideous goblin dwarf type thing, cut and clean in two down the middle after repeatedly taunting our hero, a conjoined robot, a rubbery fire-breathing dragon that more closely resembles a walking turd, a mad warty prince who wants to make a statue out of the film's heroine, and a wacky and completely unresolved ending. Add it all together and you've got a great piece of trash entertainment. Highly recommend for fans of bad movies, although still far from on par with Atar the Invincible, aka the Blade Master, aka the Cave Dwellers, which still stands out as truly one of the highest pinnacles ever of trash cinema.
I won't be watching that.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, here's an 8 out of 10, but that looks like a bot. A lot of these reviews are from like 10 plus years ago. The most recent one actually came from 2023 with a 6 out of 10.
This movie came out 36 years ago.
Yeah.
I know, right?
I love that all the positive reviews, though, just say what the film's about. Like, it doesn't even say, like, not even a review. Like, Michael, you said it's most likely just bots because it's just like, this is the fourth movie in the Atar franchise starring and da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, okay. What did you think of the movie? Why'd you give it a 7 out of 10?
This is truly one of the films of all time. It has actors who say things. It has a
you know what?
director
I'm
who made
gonna
the
say what
movie.
I said, Cam, after we reviewed Attack Force. The highest compliment that I can give this thing is calling it a movie.
Yeah.
Well, it got made. Yay!
This motivates me to go right and make a movie because I know I can make something better than this.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, just upload it to Tubi. Just sell it to Tubi.
Right.
They'll take fucking anything.
Oh, I just saw Tubi posted on their because I like Tubi. They're adding a lot of Warner Brothers animated series starting in March, like Animaniacs, which I love that show.
So, Cam, the amount of times that Andrew sends me shit from the Tubi Instagram page and goes, "We should review this on the show." In the last week, I've just been like, "Got to be better than Quest for the Mighty Sword."
Oh my
There was
god!
I said one with Michael where they couldn't even get a dog for a scene, so they got a guy to be in a dog costume and walk on the ground.
And he literally said,
No one working on the movie. No one working on the movie had a dog. Or no one knew someone that had a dog that was available for what, a day? Like
5 seconds.
Right.
Oh my god!
But my algorithm feed is cooked. So.
Please tell me that next week we're due for a good movie.
We were gonna do we discussed Cape Fear.
Yes, Cape Fear. Okay, yes. Okay.
Because I am done with this movie, so
there's really not much more that I can say. This movie is if I could attribute this movie to pain, this movie is the equivalent of getting paper cuts between all the webbings of your hands and dipping your hands in lemon juice.
And then rubbing salt in it.
Exactly.
Oh, I'm uncomfortable.
And I mean rubbing salt in it. Like I'm talking, you get salt on your fingers, you start doing this.
You know what? Actually, if you did that, Cam, way more entertaining than this movie. So we found what you're doing for 100 subscribers.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I'm kidding.
Okay. The only
how far
positive.
away are we from 100 anyway?
I'm at 73 right now.
Oh, thank God. So we got some time before I have to do the truffle shuffle.
Yeah, exactly. The only good thing that I can say about this movie, and this is literally the only good thing I can say about this movie, is that after watching it, I will never have to watch it again.
Yes. As much as I wish I had never watched it, I can now, you know what? You know what's almost neat? The one thing that you can almost gain from it outside of watching it is just what I was going to say bragging rights, but I wouldn't brag about watching this to someone like a talking point. Like, hey, have you seen this movie? Like that.
Yeah,
so.
you just walk up to your friend like, guess what I did this weekend?
I just watched Quest for the Mighty Sword.
You never heard of it? It's a low budget
Not-
kind of indie movie.
Yeah, you watch your Interstellar, your Nolan stuff. I'm over here watching a '90s fantasy movie that had the budget of a $10 pizza and a paperclip. You know.
And speaking of indie movies, did you notice that there was not one single studio credit when this movie started?
Yeah, it just starts.
It just starts with a woman running, and it's just like, oh, well, I guess we're here now.
I can imagine like they're like, all right, here's the first scene, action, run. You know, like
Yeah, and I love how the soundtrack for this movie had like 80s synth beats in it.
yes, that was the other thing I was
Yeah.
gonna say. It's like a sci-fi. What? Why are they? What? I just don't get it, and it doesn't fit. I don't know if we're gonna get copyright if I share a scene.
We're not gonna get copyrighted for this. What the hell?
Who's gonna copyright us? Tubi?
I don't know, but I want to pull up the scene when he's.
I am not
running.
sure where Cape Fear is streaming. Dingus, sorry.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. What put it on my mind was that I got it on Blu-ray. I never thought I was gonna hit play on this movie again, but I just want to play this scene. Yeah, I love how it just. There was like the senior Tom
Film
or
Mirage.
Film Mirage. There's the credits, but it's like he's running here towards the end. Maybe it's here, right after this. Oh, hold
They
on.
repay you.
I don't remember where it is, but he's like, oh, he's running. Oh, I think it's somewhere here when they're running. That's not it. I should have remembered. I don't care enough to remember where it was, but
No, go bring it back up and show Michael the
the
two-headed
dinosaur.
robot.
yeah. All right, our first ever live review to a movie on the show, and it's Quest for the Mighty Sword. Don't care about this. Wow, this is far in the movie. I don't remember. Oh, here we go. Like right here.
God, that wig, it just kills me.
I know. It's like curly too. They have like their name.
Just
Yeah,
wait till
their
it
name's
hits the
like on their head.
wall. Just wait
Yeah.
till it hits the wall.
You see, it looks like they have like the names on their head. I think one's is Igor. I don't remember. I don't care enough. Yeah, one hit Igor to one bump.
Yeah, that's some mighty sword he has.
Yeah, and there's need this little rifle right opposite. Imagine the actors. Like, that's me. That's me.
It's the fucking stupidest thing I've ever seen.
I gotta show you that. They're just thinking they're not even walking. Hitting their head and moving their foot down. Oh, got him.
You spin me right around, baby.
Alright, that's the best part of the movie. I gotta show that.
Hold on. I guess I got to see the dragon too.
Yeah, I think it's literally right after this. That's the one.
It literally looks like 1960s Godzilla.
The music accompanying it does not help.
No. I don't think. I have the power.
And then he just kind of lightly stabs it in the mouth, and that's it.
Okay, turn off. I can't with this. It didn't help that, like, I don't know if it's my connection. It's probably my connection, but like, it got to a point where it was just showing me frame by frame by frame. Like,
Oh,
I
it,
like,
it was
my
doing that for
God.
me too. It was probably just a connection overall, but still.
Okay.
You know
Yeah.
what? You had a much better experience with it than I did. So no, it's the copyright. They're gonna get us.
All right. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I don't really have anything else to say about this freaking dumpster fire.
I
Yeah.
will say I will say this. I think they had some good ideas, like good concepts, and they just failed miserably at executing it.
Get this guy. No, I
Like,
think what the problem was they had too much they were trying to do, and they never explored enough.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get your point. That there you were, I think, if they had, but I gotta tell you, Cam, if you ever doubted that Michael and I were real friends of you, watching this movie,
Yeah, fuck.
that like we're
Dude, okay, I want you to know when you
the
put
show.
in the chat that Quest for the Mighty Sword was, what did you say? What was the exact words you said?
What Cam said,
Yeah.
it was dreadful.
Dreadful. When you said Quest, just out of nowhere, Quest for the Mighty Sword is fucking dreadful. I went, I feel vindicated.
Yeah,
I was terrified that at least one of you were going to be like, I don't know, I kind of liked it. I was
You know what?
going to
I
shame
honestly
you.
thought going into it I was, because I liked
Me
the
too.
I like the sword and sorcery fantasy stuff that we get.
Yeah.
And while a lot of it is like the same movie, it's usually enjoyable. But this is one of those movies where it's not enjoyable at all, and there's no reason for me to ever go back and rewatch it, ever recommend it, ever want to talk about it again outside of tonight. So
I've literally been telling people at work how, like, I'm like explaining to them how I'm on a podcast every week to review movies, and how this week we just had to review the most dog shit movie I've ever seen in my entire life. And then the episode got, and then I was like, and then the episode got canceled, and I was really pissed.
postponed is a better way to put it.
Postponed, yeah, sorry, postponed.
I wish
I
it
was
was
like, it
canceled
got-
altogether, because sheesh.
I wish it would have been canceled before I watched the
Right.
movie.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, next time that next time that it's time for Bad Movie Week, I promise we will do something fun. It can be bad, but at least it'll be fun.
Right.
I'm telling you guys, Kung Fury. It is not a good movie. It is intentionally bad. It is a 30-minute like indie film,
That's too
which is
short.
impressive. Well, hold on. It's impressive. It does not feel like 30 minutes. It feels like a full-length like film because it has so
not
much
a good
happening
thing.
to it. No, I'm telling you guys, it's fucking amazing because all it does is it pokes fun at every single 80s movie trope that you can think of.
Ah.
There is
I
a
don't-
Triceratops who is a police officer named Triceracop.
Velocipaster. That's our next bad movie.
Oh God!
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
There's
There's
a guy with a mullet with like the big like 80s retro glasses who has like a fucking, what are they called? A power glove, like a Nintendo power glove, and his name in the movie is Hacker Man.
Unbelievable.
It's so fucking great.
Well, yeah. It's certainly on our list. We'll get to it at some point, definitely. But
Yeah.
for now, I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah, I'm done too.
I'm over it.
What did you guys say was next week again?
Cape
Cape
Fear.
Fear.
Specifically,
Starring-
specifically the Scorsese.
Yeah. Starring Robert De Niro.
That was better line delivery than anything in the movie. So
Yeah. All right. Well, but before we sign
Uh,
off, Andrew, what's our week looking like today with Feast of Fandoms and all that?
yeah, so today on the network we had a new podcast debut. It's a Battlestar Galactica podcast. I believe it's called "This Has All Happened Before." So if you're a Battlestar Galactica fan, definitely go check it out. The first episode was on the mini series from 2003 that I believe was like a pilot for the reboot sequel series. Is my understanding of what it is. I don't know anything about the franchise as a whole. Monday night, this coming Monday night on MCU Monday, we're continuing our Wonder Man reviews with episodes 5 and 6. And then Wednesday, we'll have a new episode of War of the Stars. I'm not Mortis arc. So we just did the Night Sisters arc this past week. So back-to-back really good arcs. And then as far as I'm concerned, Saturday night on the Deegan's Den, we're continuing our Smallville reviews. We just did the episode Red from season 2, episode 4. And then we'll be doing episodes 5 and 6 this coming Saturday. I already have forgotten the names. I feel bad. So I remember that they didn't click together. We've had a few episode titles like Craving and Jitters that clicked together so well. That sound like a band name. This one was like Dingus. If you're still watching, if you Spencer, if you remember what they were, I don't. But that's all I got. So
All right. How about you, Michael? Any shameless plugs for us?
well, typically Monday nights we do have our Trail of Conspiracy D&D campaign that we stream. We might be skipping this week because one of the guys might not be able to make it. I don't know. But typically we stream that Monday nights at 9 p.m. Central. So go check that out. And we have all the episodes. I think all the episodes are now currently up on the YouTube channel. On I think they're on the Dingus Den YouTube channel. Or the Tabletop Lounge YouTube channel. I can never remember. So much crap goes on with that. It's like it gets streamed here and then goes to this YouTube channel, and then I'm just like, okay, whatever. And then just a fun little thing that a couple of us have been working on. I don't know if we're going to stream it or not. But we started working on a tabletop game that is going to basically be a Dragon Ball Z Star Wars crossover. So basically, Saiyans go to the Star Wars universe, and many generations later, there's Saiyan in the Jedi Order and in Luke's Jedi Order. It's a fun concept that we've been playing with. So
Interesting.
I hope we do. I hope we do stream that because it's fun. It's been fun to like talk about. But anyway.
nice.
All right. All right. Well, fellas, I appreciate you suffering through this with me.
I don't.
We will not be doing a movie like this again for quite a while. I really,
goodness.
I would like to focus on fun bad for.
Oh yeah. See,
for
those
the
are
foreseeable future.
I like watching fun bad movies. This was just the worst of the worst. I think it would have been better though if Steven Seagal was playing Ator. Also, one final point on the movie before we head out. Every single character pronounced Ator's name differently. Some said Ator, some said like Ator. It just was funny. Like there was there wasn't even consistency with the pronunciation of the name. Like so anyway.
Well, nothing else in the movie makes sense. Why stop now?
Right.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining in and watching another episode of Cam and Focus Weekly. Join us next Sunday, same time, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, as we talk about
same bad channel.
Yeah. We'll be talking about Cape Fear, directed by Martin Scorsese, starring Robert De Niro. Definitely looking forward to that. So again, fellas, thanks for joining me. Thanks to everybody who participated in the chat. Have a wonderful night. We'll see you next week.